Thank you very much for joining us for this another edition of your show, Q Sport on Ascent Television. My name is Jide Olaniran. On today's show, we'll be talking about the IS Porter. Yeah, that is the latest program of the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance of Nigeria. That is the latest program or latest event on their calendar. This is one of our talking points as far as the show is concerned today. Also, we will be going to Europe, where Matchroom Championship, the pool championship, is starting. Yes, and there is lessons to be learned because they are going beyond just the competition. They want to make it more competitive by having the players ranked, and there is so much lessons to be learned as for Africa or Nigeria. Okay, joining me to look at this today is Joachim, the usual suspect, who is also always on the show anyway, coming around to join me on the show. Joe, how are you doing?
Jide, it's nice being with you as usual.
Joe, let's start from the highest portal, the latest event on the SPPA calendar. And it's a good one, coming from the sidelines to the mainstream. The highest portal has been something that most people just maybe play around with, but this time around, there is structure. SPPA is putting structure to this, you're making it competitive, and who knows? I don't know what vision you guys have for it, but I know that you guys want to give a go.
Yeah,
Take a go, rather.
We want to make it like a mainstream, what I call it, mainstream event.
Okay.
We want to, like you have said, it has been on the sideline. It's something most players they just go to the bars because of its peculiarity, because it's one version of pool where you have more than 2 players playing at a particular time. You can have up to 5, 6 players on the table at a particular time, and they are all playing the 15 balls. The person who puts the highest number of balls is classified as the winner. Then it cascades downwards depending on the number of balls that you potted. Another peculiarity about it gives the players an opportunity to put some little stake down, and the stake is distributed in an agreed ratio. So it's pretty attractive for the street player. That's what I classify it. Okay. But this time we are looking at the possibility of that if we can organize it properly. Okay. We can make it, because it's popular, relatively popular amongst pool players. So if we can organize it properly and put a structure to it, we can attract corporate Nigeria, because that is what we have been struggling with over the years. That means bringing corporate Nigeria into sports, especially into Q sports or into sports like pool. So if we can structure it properly, we can attract corporate Nigeria to come in, and if corporate Nigeria can come in, support it, sponsor it, in no time, these players will be able to get, I won't say big money, but they can get a token for some of these things, some of these sports they enjoy, some of these games they enjoy in the highest sport and all of that. And with that, we believe that this grassroots campaign can build into some of these players when we identify it, because we are looking at the highest portal as our own discovery platform. Okay. We identify you, we see you have talent, we see you have capacity, we see your enthusiasm, we see your doggedness, we see you have drive. We can move you we can encourage you. It's not move actually, it's just encourage you to take a step and start playing other more competitive version of pool, which is acceptable internationally. And that's pool like 8-ball pool, 9-ball pool, 10-ball pool, and even Chinese ball.
Chinese ball. All right. I know that this is just the first event. This is the upcoming event is just the maiden one. And the prospects, do you already gauge the enthusiasm amongst the players? What are they saying? Maybe they're looking forward to that because they know.
Some of the pool players, are very, very enthusiastic about it. But like every other activity in Nigeria, as far as everybody is concerned, is what can we get?
Okay.
What can we get? So we want to use this opportunity to assure them that there is need for everybody to come on board, because the more, the merrier. If we have an event where we have, even if we have 100 people play, even if we have 50 people play, but well packed, well organized, we can attract sponsorship to the event. And once you can attract sponsorship to an event, you get rewarded appropriately. But the attitude where you think you can sit on the sideline and say, let them do the work. And when they finish doing the work, if the sponsors come, then we can come and benefit. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, because, like I said, we have a structure. You might just find out that at that point in time, it might be very, very difficult for you to come on board, because there are criteria. If I use that word, we have criteria of selection. So even though we've opened the door for everybody to come in, there is still going to be a criteria of selection when it comes to major events where you have higher stake and higher rewards.
Yeah. Like you said, I know that this first edition, it's an all-comers event.
Yes.
That means that everybody is entitled, as long as
everybody can come. Anybody can come.
So.
Anybody, whether you're a novice, whether today is your first day in pool, just let's come, let's gather, let's catch some fun, let's have some interaction. But remember, there's pandemic, there's COVID, so to a great extent, we will observe the COVID protocol.
And
we will not break the protocol.
There won't be. It's not even a ranking event where you can get ranked in for it, because an all-comer event anyway.
It's pretty difficult for you to claim that you want to get ranking from an event where multiple people are going to play, because actually in the highest sport, nobody wins, nobody loses. All we just know are people come first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, depending on the number of people, and people, depending on your position, you get some points. That is the beauty of the highest sport. So with the way it is now, it's pretty difficult for us to say we'll rank the players. But as time goes on, as we continue to adjust the rules and everything, soon we'll be able to drop an algorithm that even in higher sports there will be a ranking.
All right. Let's also look at in the intros. I also made mention of the Matchroom Championship starting in England, and Matchroom is up again. They're starting this one, and the good thing is that this is also going to give way to the ranking of players, which means that it becomes more competitive. Players get to the top, and before you know it, they become a global brand. And because when you talk about pool, you remember the number one player when you talk about pool. So this is the SPPA already had a ranking system in place. What is the correlation? Are you guys also modeling this afterwards? The Matchroom is doing, or it's just a coincidence?
I won't say it's coincidental. It is not coincidental. Like we've come in line with international best practice. You cannot have any sport without having a ranking. It is international best practice. You can't have a sport without having ranking. So therefore, even now, Matchroom, like I will always tell people, somehow Matchroom, anything they touch turns to gold. Anything they touch turns to gold. So somehow, because they have come into pool and they are taking over in a big way, especially 9-ball pool, it's going to be televised and all of those. All the nitty-gritty, all the elements, all necessary, all the elements that are necessary in making it a sport and a global brand, they are putting it in place. And one of the elements, one critical element that for any activity to, especially when it comes to sports, to be classified as a sport, is a ranking. Similar to what we are trying to do. We are trying to learn. That means the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance is learning from the best. Okay. We are learning from the best. The Matchroom, when it comes to sports organization, professional sports organization, when it comes to professional sports organization, you can't learn from any other group or any other team than Matchroom. They are the best. When it comes to pool, snooker, even boxing, look, Matchroom is just, they know Matchroom sport, they know how to do it. Okay. And so there's no other group of persons I would classify that you can learn from. And to a great extent, especially for a person like me, Barry Hans' mentors has been my mentor, have watched the way he has operated over the years. You have a ranking system, you have television, you have the players, all of them in place. We are trying to do a similar thing locally. Okay. And that's why we have a ranking, we are trying to get the players, we are trying to organize the events, all things like that. So that at the end of the day, we can have a television coming. Unfortunately, unlike you have in Europe and you have in America, where television pays to what? To be part of it. Here in Nigeria, they require us to pay them to be part of it. But I know that's not the situation with Ascent. That is why we are here. Okay. And we are hoping in the nearest future, like I said the last time, pool has become global. That's why each version of pool, the World Pool Billiards Association, there's so much activities going on. So where I think we have in pool, where we have somehow lacked is televised pool. All right. And that's something Matchroom is bringing to bear with their own events. And in no time we are going to have the same way we're having darts, Premier League darts, the same way we should start having pool. Almost, I won't say 24/7 pool. No. But we'll start having, because I know Championship League pool. Okay. I think the direction they are going is that they want it to be a televised event. Okay. The same way you have Mosconi Cup. Okay. That is a televised event. But remember, Mosconi Cup, it's a competition between, will I say two continents? Yeah. US. North America or US. US representing North America and Europe. That is Mosconi Cup. It's a competition between two nations. I won't call it two nations, two continents. That's exactly. So, but with Matchroom Pool is putting quite a number of events together. The World Cup of Pool, World Pool Masters, a 12-9 board. They are putting quite a number of competitions together, and I think they are doing well. And the ranking is a way to go, especially when it comes to professional sports. There must be somebody that is ranked number 1. Okay. There must be somebody that is ranked number 2. There must be somebody that is ranked number 3. Because it brings in bragging rights. It brings in a lot of things. It makes the man a brand. All sorts of things. It brings in so much benefits. So much benefits. And the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance is hoping that in no distant future, even in Nigeria, in all the versions of Q Sports, we have a number 1, we have a number 2, and we have all of them. So that when tomorrow Matchroom wants to invite us to come and play in any of their events, they can test the quality of players. Like we said the last time, remember, when I think it was Joy Billiards, that's Tony Zhang said, the Continental Cup, they are looking at having an African Masters. So if you are going to have an African Masters, there must be a selection criteria. There must be a selection criteria. You can't say you're having an African Masters and just anybody can come. No. We're having an African Master, and that is why in the Pool Players Alliance here in Nigeria, we are even looking at having, in most of our events, we are looking at having even a master's and all of that kind of a thing. It's a big thing, and Matchroom has done it. They are showing those of us coming behind, they are showing us the way to go, and we are learning pretty well.
Fantastic. It's novel, especially, I must say, for what you guys are doing back here at home, and you're benchmarking whatever events that you have against what obtains in other clients. And we can always hope for the better as far as this game is concerned. We'll just a number of days now before we have the first edition of the IS Porter. And I hope that you guys are ready. If you're ready, you know where to be.
That's the Dream World
snooker bar. That's where it will be. And money's to be won too. Prizes.
I would say money. Let them go and say money. People think it's a basket. I'd rather use the word token. But the important thing is that just let's come and let's have.
It's the fun. Like I said, the fun aspect is actually the thing for me.
Yes.
It's the take. It's the icing on the cake. It's the fun because I know what it is like. And the competition too. Everybody wants to be the number one, especially when you say the highest, the highest sporting player wins it. So everybody's struggling to be that number one.
And you can imagine if you are the highest sporting player and you have the opportunity, you break, and once you break, you pot the 15 balls, one go. Then we now know that this particular person
is not made for this.
Exactly. This particular player is supposed to be playing either 8 ball or 9 ball or 10 ball, or you should be doing something much higher. But let everybody come. And let everybody.
The fact is that whether you can you can pot 8, 9, 10 balls at a go, does not stop you from giving it a shot on this particular one.
Sure.
I must say, congratulations again. And let's hopefully, I remember, why did we talk about Matchroom on the show today? It was because we were expecting some of them, like the top guys in Matchroom, to join us on the show today. But the subsequent edition, they have promised to join us, and we will learn from them. If you're with us and you know something you want to learn about how the Matchroom as an organization, how they are turning things to gold, then this is the channel to subscribe to. Subscribe, so that you can get a notification anytime that we drop videos on this channel. So, my Jide Olaniran is my name. Before I go, let me say thank you to Joe for coming once again on the show today. It's just a short one, and hopefully when we'll be back with a bumper package next time.
Yes, thank you, Jide. It's nice being with you as usual.
All right. That's it. It's a wrap for me on the show today. Let's do this again. And like I promised, the next edition promises to be a bumper package because there's so much to learn from the guys in Matchroom, because they will be teaching us how to turn things to gold as far as pool and some other sports are concerned. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.